Hey everybody, Vasky here. This is a tutorial on the ChatFlow mod. ChatFlow is a mod I made quite a few months ago, actually maybe even a year ago, that lets you modify any incoming chat message using regular expressions. Now a lot of people hear regular expressions and they just go no 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 no. But okay, fine, chill. I'm gonna teach you how to use it, I'm gonna teach you the basics, and I'm gonna teach you some potential applications. So first off, you can open up the ChatFlow menu by pressing F12, or whatever you have it bound to. It's F12 by default, but you can modify it in your controls menu. Let's open it up. You can add various filters, you can remove your filters, or you can enable or disable various filters. I already have a filter here. This is the debug filter. It's currently disabled. I'll talk about it in a moment. It's not relevant just yet. So let's talk about some potential applications for this. I'm going to talk about the most basic one, and that is, imagine you don't like a word, and you want to have that word replaced with another word. Well, let's say you don't like the word cabbage, and you want to have it replaced with carrot. That's an idea. It's not very practical, but you can do it. So we can do it over here in this menu. So we're going to name our filter. Name is completely irrelevant. It's just so you can tell what it is. It's going to be cabbage to carrot. Okay? And now let's write a matcher. A matcher is what you want to find in the message that gets sent. So we want to find the word cabbage, and we want to replace it with carrot. Okay? So then you can test this over here instead of just going to your chat. We can say I am a cabbage, and as you can see, the word cabbage gets replaced with carrot. And if we test this over here, it replaces it with carrot. Now, one thing you want to be careful about this only modifies incoming chat messages. So you're going to send the word cabbage to the server. The server is going to receive the word cabbage. It's going to log it or do whatever it wants to do with it. And then it's going to send it to every other player who will see the word cabbage unless they have the same filter as you in their client. This is only for messages that come in. So don't come at me if you say something stupid on accident, okay? Okay. So that's how you can filter a word into another word. So let's add a new filter. Let's start teaching some more complex things. Now, just filtering a word into another word isn't really that useful, as you can tell. We want to make filters that are dynamic depending on what gets sent. And that's how we are going to use regular expressions. Now, you can click this button over here. That's going to open up a little information panel that'll tell you about regular expressions. It opens up in your browser, so I'm not going to open it right now. And you can click formatting help to check the Minecraft wiki on formatting codes that will be relevant, and there's some information here. So let's write a system to replace our name over here and change these symbols to square brackets. So right now it shows asking, we want to replace it with these. We want to replace it with these. Okay? So let's do that. So you'd think the easy way would be, okay, let's write a filter to replace this one with this one, and we'd write another one to replace the other one. Yeah, that's possible. However, if I want to say, oh, like 4 is bigger than like 5, oh, suddenly this happens. You don't want that. What you want is a system that modifies it in a way that's depending on what's happening on chat. As you can see, the first one also got modified. So okay, we can do Vasky potato and modify it with Vasky carrot. We can do that. And if I say potato, it modifies it with carrot. However, if I say anything else, it doesn't. So we want to create a system that allows you to modify it dynamically. And that's where regular expressions come in. A regular expression lets you parse part of a message dynamically depending on what you want. So there are various codes you can use in regular expressions. The table over here in this button will give you quite a few informations on that, which I'm looking at right now on my other monitor. You can, well, first off, we want to create one that's dynamic. So it needs to work for any username and it needs to work for any message. Well, we have to be careful because there's a potential. I can say Vasky carrot, and it's going to modify, I said potato, and it's going to modify to carrot inline in the chat, and we don't want that. We want to modify just the nameplate. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to make sure this encompasses the whole text. That we can do using this character and this character. This first character modifies the start of the string, the start of the piece of text. So if this is here, this is going to start trying to find this text right at the start. So if I do this now, it's not going to modify because it's not at the start. However, if I say potato, it is, because it is at the start. Okay? So that's the simple way of detecting the whole string. As you can see, tip use this message and as the matcher, and an empty replacement to prevent that message appearing in chat. That's also something you can do. You can just replace the whole thing, and it just won't appear at all, as you can see. It won't appear. Of course, anyone on your server is going to see it, so again, be careful with that. But we don't want to match just potato. We want to match, well, any message you can say for any username. Well, for that, we are going to start detecting text and using it as part of the replacement, okay? So for that, we are going to do what's called a captured group. It's like this. This is a group which is going to capture part of your text and then put it elsewhere. We can do it, so we can say, well, we don't want to say potato, we want to say anything. So here, inside our captured group, which is going to be passed to the replacement, we need to put something that's dynamic, that can pretty much catch anything. Well, that's the dot character. This character will match any character you will type in your chat. And if you're looking at your RegEx help table, you will see, yep, it's right, the first one in regular expression basics. So we want to match any character and then pass it over here. Well, we don't want to match just one character. We want multiple characters, not just one. Because over here I have caret, that's more than one character, that's 6. What we can do is put a plus right after the dot, and the plus is going to match multiple characters. And now we can say, okay, and we want to take this and put it in our replacement. Now remember, since this is within parentheses, it's called a captured group. And captured groups can later be used in our replacement via their number. So this is the first captured group in the entire piece of text. There's no others, as you can see. This is the only one in parentheses. So we can use the $sign and the number 1 because it is the first one. So I can now say anything, and it's going to change it to the square brackets, and it's going to put the text I wrote properly. Now, right now, this only works for me. We want it to work for any player. Well, that's easy. We can just add another captured group here, modify this to 1. And now this one is going to be the second one because there are now 2 captured groups. This. And now, it'll still work because of course it's me, but if anyone else was to say it, it would put their name here. So that's how you can capture pieces of text and use them later on. Now imagine if we want, we can also change the order. We can just put our name at the end if we feel like it. If you are weird like that, you can see now it's right here. Anything works, of course. Let's put this back as it was. Now, many servers have colors for their text, and you can get these colors using a plugin or Forge Essentials, but we can also add them over here. So let's go over to Formatting Help, and it's going to open up a page in your browser that shows the various colors. Now, naturally, you need to use the section sign to add colors. For this, we don't have to use a section sign. We can use a tilde instead. As you can see, use tilde as a replacement for the control character. If you do want to write tilde, by the way, you need to use a / and the tilde, because otherwise it'll just write a control character. But imagine we want our name to be yellow. Now, yellow is control character E. Now, of course, we also have to make the rest be white, so F. And now when we talk, our name is going to be yellow, because we just added this here to be yellow. So that's how you can use your control codes. So here's an idea. Here's a thing you can potentially do. If you don't like a server's method of doing chat, you can do this. And over here we can also test it for any player, so let's test it for Direwolf20. I'm a noob. See? And it shows up in yellow, and it shows up in brackets. So we have a very simple matcher to change our chat. Let's name it so we don't forget later. Chat changer. But let's try something a bit more complex now. Imagine you are in one of those servers where you have things like this. A, donator, like F, then like my name, which is going to be 9, space, F. Hi guys. Like this. Imagine you have this. But man, these servers are so annoying. They have so many things in the back. I don't want to know if they're a donator. I just want to have their name. Well, let's start off by making a thing for that. So remove server tags. Well, we want to match the whole message, so we're going to include this and this, and we're going to write the message here. So donator, this. If you want to match any rank, so if there's a super donator, you can also match that. And then there is going to be a 9. As you can see, I'm taking from the message here. And then there will be a name. These are all in captured groups, so you can use them later. And there will be a name, and 2 dots, and an F, and then there will be a message. Now all we can do is just say, okay, 2, or we can use our old system, use E, F, and then use the third one. Okay, now this currently isn't matching properly. What did I do wrong? I'm not using this character right. Am I? Yes, I am. Okay. And there's 9 space F. What am I missing? Oh, I know. You have to, when you use square brackets, you have to escape them by using the front-facing slash. That is because these square brackets are actually workable characters in regular expression. So if you open up your RegEx help, you will see right on the second column when it says regular expression character classes, there's a bit of text there. There's a few entries that utilize the square brackets. So we have to escape them to make sure we are actually looking for square brackets themselves and not something else. And as you can see, it replaces the donator tag. It replaces my name and puts it over here in the other color. We can also change it like if you have the server owner, it just whatever, doesn't matter. It just takes it and removes it. So that's an idea you can use if you're tired of servers being messy. Let's try another one. Let's try one to help people who are very angry. So remove exclamation marks. So you're going to want exclamation mark and plus and replace it with a single exclamation mark. Hi guys! And as you can see, any other exclamation marks after the first one are replaced because we are matching multiple exclamation marks right here. These are some very simple examples of what you can do. There's also a lot more you can do with this model, and I'm going to teach you with examples now. Let's look at a thing that's problematic. This is annoying. This is so annoying. It just spams your chat, but you can only sleep at night. I know I can only sleep at night. Don't keep telling me that. Okay, let's go. So, bed spam filter. And we're going to find you can only sleep at night. Now, of course, you want the whole thing. So, this. And we are going to put this in a notification. Now, what's that? It's over here in the corner. It shows up. Not showing up for anything. All right. We don't want to replace it with nothing. We want to replace it with the same message, and that's going to show up right here. As you can see, this is another feature of ChatFlow. It puts notifications right here. This is based on the Android toast notification system. So instead of spamming your chat, they appear over here. And of course, you can also change this to be whatever you want. You can be like, it's daytime noob, and it's going to show up like that, instead of spamming your chat. Now here's a trick. You can use the $ and 0 to capture the whole group. So this is the whole string, the whole thing gets parsed over here, as you can see. It doesn't matter what it says, as long as it parses what's over here, it'll go. So for example, you can take this whole message and be like, okay, 0, notification. Oh, this one is the server tags one. We don't need this one anymore. Let's go with the chat changer and be like, okay, well, 0, notification, and then the thing I say is going to show up over here. Now, of course, we don't want that, so let's get rid of that. Of course, we want to be a bit more obvious, so let's put a C here, a tilde C, and it's going to show up in red now, because we are weird like that. Now, there's also another problem with this. If it's nighttime, and if I get a skeleton, peaceful. If we get a skeleton, I'm not going to be able to sleep because it's going to say this one instead. But this one is not going to be sent over to toast notification. Well, all we can do with this is take a group or use this character, the pipe character, to be either this one or this one. We can also do, you may not press now, there are monsters nearby. Okay, so it's either this whole thing, right, or this whole thing. If we try it out, you'll see it's going to go over here. All right. Now, these are captured groups. These over here, they're captured groups because they're within parentheses. If for some reason you didn't want to capture them, like you had a bunch of groups and you didn't want to type $12, if you just want to make a group for example, these purposes, you can add a question mark and 2 dots, and that's going to create a non-capturing group. So this here is a group, but it's not captured. So it's going to be either this group or this group, but these are not captured. So you can, if you're going to capture something else over here, you can use $1 instead of $15 or how many you have. So that's how you can filter, well, bad spam. So let's talk about something more complicated over here. Let's filter carpenter's blocks. Now, if you ever used carpenter's blocks, you know that they are very annoying because they spam your chat with all sorts of things all over the place. I'm like, I don't want any of this. Okay? Let's do this. I'm going to quickly open up a panel I have over here that tells me what I wrote so I don't forget. Okay? Let's make a filter for carpenter's blocks. Carpenter's blocks. Open up my chat, just do a few more things so I can see what's going on when I open up the interface. As you can see, this pauses your game, by the way, so the chat doesn't flow. So let's add a matcher, for example, for polarity. We want the whole string, and we want to end it, polarity, normal, redstone output. And we want to replace this as a notification, yada yada, very standard stuff. Oh, wrong thing. And this is going to go, naturally, this is going to go to notification, you think. Well, it's actually not. The reason for that is because there is a control character here adding color to this system. And we are trying to match this. And this, of course, is white. It's not the things we want. So let's go back to our debug filter. The one I showed you a while ago. This one takes any control character and replaces it with an ampersand. Let's enable it. And now as you can see, we are going to start seeing the control characters as part of the text. It's going to be helpful so we can figure out what to do here. So, well, we know there's a 6 here. We replace it, there's an ampersand, but there's an ampersand because we replace the tilde or the control character with an ampersand. I can go back here and add tilde 6. Now, let's make sure this one isn't enabled first. Disable this one. And now you can see that, oh, I think I missed something. What did I miss? Polarity. Oh, I missed the full stop. Okay. Now you can see the normal ones are going to go here. That's still not enough, though. We don't want just the normal redstone output. So let's do while we did the same thing. Polarity, or we can do dot plus and dot plus here. That's going to match. We don't even need to capture these, by the way. But I'm going to, so we can just do this if you want. It's still going to match. Right, it's going to go here. But I do want to capture them. Capture these. So we can have fancy colors. So over here we can go 1A and 1, 2 dots, and then 6, and the second one. And this is yellow, this is orange. I think that's orange, yes. And now it's gonna be, sorry, that's green, and that's gonna show up a lot more fancy when you try to do it, and it's gonna not spam your chat. Now there's a problem with this. There's always a problem with something, of course. This right now is going to match anything you put in here. So if I have some weird mod that says debug potato, it's gonna take it to a DOS notification. You don't really want that. So the best way I have to fix this is to do the following. I am going to do this. I am going to create a non-capturing group right here. And I'm going to say, okay, anything that starts with C or A or S or T or P. Why these? Because these are the characters you have here. You have polarity, you have trigger, you have polarity, you have, oh, I broke that. You have activation, you have automation, and control. These are all those characters. Then I'm going to put a dot here, and normally you'd put a plus to match anything else. But I just want, but even if there isn't anything here, even if there's just nothing here, I want to match that. So I'm going to put a asterisk. Asterisk is the same as the plus, but it also matches if there's nothing here. So while the plus means 1 or more, the asterisk means 0 or more. And this, I'm going to filter this out. This is going to match this still, no problem, but it's going to be a lot better for when other mods are in the equation. So here's a bunch of ideas and a bunch of things you can do with ChatFlow. Quickly open up my page on CurseForge to see if there's any cool examples I want to show you guys. Let's see if there's anything important here. But there's a really fun one I want to show you. But before, I want to show you a bit of a simpler one. Imagine you want to ignore a player, and your server doesn't have an ignore feature. Well, you can be like, ignore Pahamar. Well, I don't want to hear anything Pahamar has to say. So let's match any message that Pahamar says. Anything else. This, and just nothing there. So if Pahamar says, hi, we just don't even see it. It doesn't even show up in our chat because the replacement is blank. So that's a way you can ignore players if you feel like it. But I want to show you something a bit more interesting. I want to show you a number formatter. And this one is going to be very complex compared to the old ones, but it's just an example of the crazy powerful things you can do using regular expressions, okay? So I'm going to write here, here's a large number, and that's a t. No. Here's a big number, okay? We want to format this so it shows up with commas like this, alright? That's what we want to do. So let's start off by writing our matcher. Our matcher is going to be a d, and the d is going to be a number. So if I change it with a, it's going to replace every number with a. Of course, we don't want that right now. All numbers are getting removed. Let's add 1, and they're going to come back. And if I add a dot to the end, every number is going to be suffixed by a dot. Now, of course, we don't want that. We want every third number to be suffixed by a dot. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a positive look behind. What this does is it's going to find what's behind that number, and if that is correct, it's going to match it. So if I, for example, add 48 here, it's only going to add when there's 48 in front. This is a positive look forward. I apologize for that. So if there's a 48 right after this number, as you can see there are 2, we can add the dot, because this is searching for the 48, but not including it in the search. So there's a 48 here, so that we add a dot right after, and there's a 48 here, so we add a dot right after. Now, of course, we don't want to match 48. We want to match any group of 3 numbers. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to add another. Not another, just one. I'm going to add a non-capturing group here. And this non-capturing group here is going to include so digit. So right now it's matching anything with any 3 digits. But if we put a 3 between brackets right here, right? Between braces, this is going to match exactly 3 numbers in front because there's a 3 here. So we have the D, which match number, and then we have the 3 right after the D saying, okay, we want 3 numbers in front. So as you can see, this one has 3 numbers in front, so it's fine. But now it's adding a dot to all of them. We just want one with every 3 numbers. So we don't want this right now. This is not correct. So what we can do is go plus. So groups of 3 numbers. We want various groups. So there's this group here that's non-capturing of 3 numbers. And we want multiples of 3 numbers in front. But this doesn't mean there can be anything else in front. Right now there are, because you can see there's a multiple 3 here, multiple 3, 3, 3, but there's still one in the end. Well, it doesn't matter. It's still going to get matched. So we want to make sure that there's, well, not 3 in the end. What we can do is have a non-capturing group, and we're going to be no number. So D with a major character means a caps lock means no number. By the way, this is an error because this string isn't correct. A uppercase D means there's not a number, or the end of the string. So we want to match whenever something that's here is not a number, right? As you can see, if we put a not a number here, it's going to change everything. Put a not a number here, change everything, as you can see. Or the end of the string, right here. Now, this space is not going to be a number, but if we add a 2, 3, you're going to see is adding the commas just fine. So here's the way of matching. Of course, you can change this with a comma if you prefer. Here is a somewhat complex regular expression you can use to format numbers. It's just a good example of the amount of power you have with this mod and how many things you can do if you know what you're doing. So you can get ChatFlow from CurseForge. There'll be a link in the description. I hope you like using it. I'm gonna be using it in my mod pack for this very feature to not have Carpenter's blocks spam your chat. If you want to have a last look at what I'm doing for Carpenter's blocks, it's this. If you want to copy it over to your saves. But alright, I'm done with this today. I'm gonna help you use this right now. That this might have has never been used too much because it's kind of hard for people to catch up on. And I've been here rambling for 25 minutes and I've only scratched the surface of all the crazy things you can do with regular expressions. Look on this page on the RegEx help page, and you can find all sorts of things that are going to help you make fancy filters. Alright, I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!